Hey there, planners. Today I thought we'd do a little bit of watercoloring on vellum as an experiment to see what happens. So grab your supplies and let's get planning. So I like to use vellum in my planner, and I wanted to show you a couple of examples of how I'm using it. So these are my daily pages, and this is a piece of vellum that I actually printed this acorn pattern on, and I just think this is so adorable, and it just adds a little something to my daily pages. I've got another example here where I printed it to match the colors that are kind of in the washi tapes and that I'm using in the daily pages. Here's another example of a piece of vellum that I just kind of matched, and these are printed. But I got to thinking about it. I think it would be a cool idea to try to watercolor some vellum sheets and then turn them into vellums that I tip into my planner. So I don't know how this is going to work. Spoiler alert, if you're seeing this video, it worked. So that's the good news. You know, vellum paper is very different texture. They're very thin, it's transparent. You can see through it. But I'm not really sure how it's going to take to watercolor. I thought I would use washi tape and tape it down to a crafting mat that I have, and then kind of experiment with watercolor and see how it does. So with that, let me get into some of the supplies I have. So I have my watercolor set. This is a pretty inexpensive set that I got off Amazon, and it's got a lot of color variety and plenty of space to mix and play with colors, so I'll be using that today. I pulled out these Master's Touch metallic acrylic tubes, so they're really great colors: gold, a bronzy color, a silver pearl color, and then a rust color as well. I might try to use a couple of these. I really am going to be going for like a more fall color tone and palette here, so I thought these might be interesting to throw in, and they do have a metallic color to them, so they come out pretty neat when I'm using them for acrylic painting. And then I have a set of watercolor brushes. These are Modolata, inexpensive, got them off Amazon, and plenty of sizes to work with. And of course I have water and the vellum sheets. So I ordered this pack of vellum, very clear, transparent, no pattern, off of Amazon in a humongous pack, and it was a really good deal. So I'll be testing out watercoloring on here. So let me go ahead and get it set up, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so I have taped down my crafting mat just to make sure it doesn't slide around, and I've taped the corners of my vellum. Now I am going to be making two separate vellums with this one sheet. I have found that if I cut this in half, I end up with two sheets that I can use in my planner because my planner is an A5 size. So I've mixed up just a few oranges, yellows, and browns over here, some nice fall tones, and I'm just going to be doing a wash on these two pages. My idea here is that after I do the wash and it completely dries, I can actually print maybe some fall quotes or wording on these pages, so we'll see how it goes. Okay, one thing that I noticed is happening right away is I'm actually going to have to tape down all four corners because it is really wanting to wrinkle up. So I'm going to let this dry for just a minute and then go ahead and retape the four corners. Lesson learned there. Okay, so I grabbed a little bit stronger tape and went ahead and taped down the four corners. I don't think that those little portions that are under the tape not being colored are really going to mess up the design for using it in my planner because I actually end up having to trim off a little bit in order to make it fit in the planner. And so I don't think that's going to be a problem. We'll just have to wait and see with the final product. Okay, so I have watercolored the surface and now you can see it is extremely wrinkly. So I'm going to give this a few minutes to dry and see if I can smooth it back out, maybe by putting it between a couple of books, or I'm not quite sure. I want to see how this looks when it dries. Okay, while the other one is drying, I wanted to try to do a new one with kind of the rough shape of a pumpkin that then I could come back later to and draw over with a pumpkin shape with black ink. So I saw a really cute pattern like this somewhere and I thought, that might be possible to recreate that. So I'm going to try to do a few pumpkins and see what happens. All right, so again, this is very wet. I'm gonna let it dry. I really like how it's crinkling up and making the lines, and it's almost giving it that pre-shape of the pumpkin, which is gonna be really awesome, hopefully, when it dries. Okay, for this one, I've got some of those metallic acrylic paints, and I'm gonna be mixing a lot of water with them. Okay, that is so beautiful just the way it is. I am really, really excited about how these little metallic acrylic paints came out, particularly the rust color one and the gold. They are just beautiful. So I'm gonna let this dry, and I don't know that I'll do anything else to it except cut it in half and pop it in my planner. If you like foiling, metallic or shiny foiling in your planner, this is definitely going to be something that you like. So I'm going to let it dry, and I'll be back with a final look at how all three turned out. Okay, I let everything dry, and now I am excited to show you the final product from this sort of DIY planner vellum. I honestly could not be more excited with how things turned out. So here's a look at the first one. I just let everything dry and then ran it through my printer and printed just this fall saying on it. How cute is that? Fall, my second second favorite F word. So, you know, when I'm ready, I will just use this by tipping it in right into my planner using some invisible tape, but I really am impressed with how this came out. The paper, I ended up having to, after it dried, it was really, really crinkly. And I was afraid that it wouldn't go through my printer very well, and so I just laid it flat and then stacked some really heavy books on top, and that helped to smooth it right out, and now it is ready to add to my planner. The second half of that sheet is here, and just this great fall quote, Oscar Wilde, and all at once summer collapsed into fall. And so I just think these are going to be really cute in my planner. So I'm very excited about that. And you can see, you know, here was the complete sheet. I ran this through the printer and then I just cut it in half. And it makes a great addition to my planner. Next up are the pumpkins, which really were just kind of blobs. And I used a Faber-Castell Pitt artist pen with a little bit of a thicker top. This is actually the 1.5, and I just drew in some super messy pumpkins on top of the you know, watercolor blobs. And I just love the way this turned out. I think it's going to be so cute when I add it into the planner. And the fact that this takes like almost no artistic talent at all. All you have to do is paint little squiggly blobs that are somewhat round and oval in shape, and then just kind of draw this super simple pumpkin. And you can find, you know, step by step how to draw a pumpkin on Pinterest or just by searching for it. So really simple. I love the way the paint dried and kind of glopped up in sections where it's thicker and gives the pumpkin sort of a natural look. So this came out really well. And then the last one I think I'm the most impressed with. These to me are just really gorgeous. I did not expect the acrylic metallic paint to do so well on vellum. You know, if you think about the expense and cost of foil vellums, I mean, they're pretty pricey. And the fact that I can create patterns and designs with my own paint. And again, this takes no artistic talent. I just did circles in a pattern. And so I think this is going to look really great in my planner. And again, I just cut the page in half. I'm thinking lines, you know, maybe I'll venture into triangles. I don't know. But I'm really excited about this. I think this came out really well, and I see a lot of potential for using this. Again, this rust color is just gorgeous, and it's going to look great in my planner for fall. So I really hope you enjoyed this DIY. I hope that you got value out of the video. If so, please leave me a thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up and leave me some comments in the description box below. If you'd like to see more of this, I do a lot of DIY in my planner because, you know, planner supplies are expensive, and I also enjoy the creativity and the creative outlet. That's part of the reason I plan the way I do. So if you'd like to see more of this, let me know that in the comments below. As always, subscribe to Planner Nanny for more content like this, and thanks for planning with me.